All right, let's talk about the absolute foundation of every single website you have ever visited. We're talking about HTML. It is literally the most basic building block of the web, and it defines the meaning and structure of all the content that you see online. Have you ever wondered what a website looks like without its fancy design? Well, here you go. On the left, you see a polished modern web page. On the right, that's the exact same page with just the HTML. It's the bare bones structure. Today, we are focusing on that all-important skeleton. The best way to think about this is like building a house. HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, is your blueprint. It's the structural frame. It gives everything its shape and its place, from the foundation all the way up to the walls and the roof. Now, if HTML is the frame, then CSS, or cascading style sheets, is all the interior design. We're talking about the paint, the furniture, the decorations. It's what makes the house actually look good, right? It controls the colors, the fonts, the layout. It's the style, but it's not the structure itself. So what about JavaScript? Well, that's the electricity and the plumbing. It's what makes the house interactive and functional. Think light switches, running water, all the appliances. It brings the house to life. But remember, a house is absolutely nothing without a solid frame. Okay, so let's dive into how that frame is built. Every single HTML page, and I mean every single one, from Google's homepage to the simplest blog, starts with the exact same basic foundation. It all starts with this one little line, the doc-type declaration. This is basically you telling the browser, hey, just so you know, this is an HTML5 document, so use the modern standard to show it. If you forget this, browsers can get confused and switch into what's called a Quarks mode, and your page can look, well, really weird. Next up, we wrap everything inside the HTML element. This is the root. It's the main container for the entire page. Every other piece of content, every single tag, is going to be nested right inside of this one. Now, inside that HTML element, there are two main sections. First, you've got the head. Think of this as the backstage area. It holds all the stuff the browser needs, like the page title that shows up in your browser tab or the links to your CSS style sheets. And then you've got the body. This is the main stage. It's where all the visible content, your text, your images, links, everything you actually see goes. So this whole nested structure creates this really logical hierarchy, which the browser turns into a map. We call it the Document Object Model, or the DOM. You can really think of it like a family tree for your web page, where that HTML tag is the great-grandparent of everything else. This map is what allows the browser, and other languages like JavaScript, to understand and interact with every single element on the page. Okay, so we've got our foundation poured. How do we frame the actual rooms of our house? Well, we use tags that have meaning. We call these semantic tags. See, back in the day, we used these generic div tags for just about everything. And yeah, it worked, but it was so vague. Modern HTML5 gives us something way, way better: descriptive semantic tags. So instead of a generic div with an idea of header, you can just use the header tag. It is instantly clear to developers and to the browser what each part of the page is actually for. So why is this so important? I mean, who really cares? Well, you should, for three huge reasons. First, it boosts your SEO, because search engines can actually understand your content better. Second, it's absolutely essential for accessibility, allowing things like screen readers to navigate the page for visually impaired users. And finally, let's be honest, it just makes your code so much cleaner and easier for any other human to read and work on. All right, our rooms are framed. Let's quickly look at the most common furniture you're going to use to fill your pages with content. These are the tags you'll find yourself typing over and over again. These are your absolute bread and butter. You've got headings, from H1 for the main title all the way down to H6 to create a clear document structure. You have paragraphs for any block of text, anchor tags, the A element, create all your hyperlinks. And of course, image tags for visuals, and UL or OL for making bulleted or numbered lists. Now, building your first site is really exciting, but a few simple mistakes can cause some pretty big problems. So let's run a quick building inspection and look at the most common issues so you can avoid them right from the start. Oh man, this one gets people all the time. Tags have to be closed in the reverse order they were opened. Seriously, think of them like stacking boxes. You have to close the inner box before you can close the outer one. If you get this wrong, you can really confuse the browser and get some totally unexpected results. Okay, listen up. Every single image needs an alt attribute. This is absolutely non-negotiable, especially for accessibility. It provides a text description of the image for visually impaired users who are using screen readers. But that's not all. It also gives search engines crucial context, helping them understand what your page is about, which can improve your SEO. Now, our last common mistake isn't a typo, it's a performance killer. And it's all about how we handle JavaScript. By default, when a browser is reading your HTML and it hits a script tag, it stops everything. It literally pauses building the page to go download and run that script. This is called render blocking, and it can make your site feel incredibly slow to load. Thankfully, the fix is so simple. You just add one little attribute to your script tag called defer. It's like telling the browser, hey, go ahead and download this script now, but please don't run it until you finish building the rest of the house. This makes sure all your visible content loads right away, giving your users a much, much faster experience. So here's the crucial point, the main takeaway from all this. Writing clean, semantic HTML isn't just about following the rules or making your code look pretty. It has a direct, measurable impact on your site's performance, its accessibility to every single user, and how easily people can find you on Google. And that's really the core of HTML. It is the strong, meaningful foundation for the entire web. So the next time you build something, whether it's a simple page or a huge, complex application, you have to ask yourself, is my foundation solid? Is it built to last?